let's touch on supplements at the end here. I'll make another video probably talking more in detail about that, but the same thing goes. I'm looking at what I think is ideal, and then I look at what I have available to me, and I see that what I have available, bananas and sweet potatoes basically, isn't gonna cut it. I'm not gonna get the same amount of zinc from that diet as I would from a mango papaya diet. I'm not gonna get the same amount of calcium from a diet like that as I would from the mango papaya cherimoya jackfruit diet. I'm not gonna get the same amount of a lot of different nutrients from that diet as I would from that diet. And so rather than just saying, no, I'm eating a perfect diet, I'm eating fruit, lots of fruit, bananas, I should be getting everything I need. I'll be getting everything I need. You know, instead of doing that, I look at the science, I look at what we would be eating in our actual setting, and I'm thinking, hey, science studies have shown that we need this amount of nutrient X. Let's just say zinc. We need this amount of zinc. Science has said that less than that amount of zinc will be problematic. And you know, it's complex, it's not just that easy. You've got to really look at each study and evaluate it very critically, and there's no such thing as a perfect study either. There's always variables that we can't account for, so it's very difficult to know. But okay, science says a certain range for zinc, and then I look at our supposed ideal diet, the one I call ideal, and I see, oh okay, it matches pretty well. You know, it matches pretty well. Now what about the diet I'm currently eating? Nope, it is not matching at all. It is too low in zinc, for example. Well, it is actually. Zinc is one of those nutrients. So what do? Do I look for a specific food that's super concentrated in zinc that I wouldn't otherwise eat? Like lentils, for example, they're pretty high in zinc. Maybe that's a good strategy. I did that for a while, now I'm trying without. But one of the problems with that is that, yeah, I'm getting more zinc, but I'm also getting more phytic acid, which inhibits zinc uptake. So what do I end up with? Do I end up with a net gain in zinc or a net loss? I don't know. Probably a net gain, I'm thinking, but I don't know. And so when you're playing around, this goes for any nutrient, when you're looking for a specific nutrient and you want to get more of that nutrient, and then you choose to eat a food that you otherwise wouldn't really naturally eat to get that nutrient, like people eating seaweeds, which is not something we would naturally eat, I think. People eating seaweeds to get more iodine. It's kind of like, yeah, you're probably getting more iodine, but one, you don't necessarily know how much you're getting. You might be getting too little, too much. It's difficult to sort of gauge, and you're looking for a pretty particular intake anyway, right? So that's one of the problems. And secondly, you're getting all of these things coming along with that nutrient. So what I think then, back to the stuff I said about the oil, is that, you know what? If I'm looking for zinc, I just want zinc, as isolated and refined as possible. Just like I said with the oil. I don't want to start eating some kind of crazy food because it has more fat in it, but I wouldn't naturally eat it otherwise, like lots of nuts. I don't think it's good to eat lots of nuts. I don't feel good with it. That doesn't digest well for me. I'd rather just have the fat. Easy to digest, bam, add a little bit of fat to the smoothie. You know, mix it in with the food so it doesn't, you know, enter your bloodstream differently than it would if it was in a whole food. You're kind of creating a new whole food. Same goes for adding refined sugar to low calorie fruits in order to make them higher calorie, but that's a different story. So yeah, so I take a zinc supplement, and as I said, I'll make a different video talking about exactly what supplements I'm taking. But zinc supplement, one of them. I take an iodine supplement, I take a B12 supplement, I take a whole bunch of supplements right now. I'm experimenting with a lot of different supplements, so is Mads. We're both experimenting and we're finding it very interesting. And we're doing blood tests, and as I said, my iron was low. I've been training hard. I've been eating a diet that's not that ideal diet for a while now. There could be parasite issues. There could be the fact that I've been eating a lot of lentils, you know, inhibiting my iron uptake. There's a whole bunch of reasons. Nothing's critical though. We've got it under control, so I'm experimenting now with an iron supplement. You know, I could look for foods super high in iron, but I would also get a lot of other stuff from those foods. Maybe I'm just better off eating a diet as close to that ideal diet as possible, and just sort of mixing in those particular nutrients to mimic that theoretically ideal diet. Anyway, this is obviously risky business, or I don't think it's risky. I'm not doing anything risky, but it is impossible to create something perfect from something imperfect, if you know what I mean. Like, there's probably a lot of nutrients in fruits and stuff that we don't even know about yet, and certainly there's a lot of things we don't know about the body. And you get one nutrient in a certain amount, maybe you need another nutrient as well. You probably do, in a good ratio. I mean, ratios and these things, they're really important, and whole food is really where it's at. But to me, whole food means whole food that you can eat in its whole natural state and enjoy it. And for us, that's only tropical fruit, really, and a few other little things, as I mentioned. Potatoes, yeah, potatoes are touted as a whole food. And T. Colin Campbell, which is all about whole food, he wrote a book, Whole. He says potatoes are great, right? Potatoes are whole food. But we would never eat potatoes in its natural state. So yeah, we're getting all the nutrients in concert, but that might not be the concert that we are ideally adapted to getting, you know what I mean? So again, I look at the fruit, those optimal fruits, as a template, and I try my best to mimic that template by playing around with individual nutrients within my what I have available to me currently. It's a kind of a difficult but very interesting and fun experiment. I mean, I love playing around with nutrition. I can look for hours on Chronometer experimenting. You know, just check out chronometer.com, where you can analyze nutritional profiles of different foods. I can spend hours there just messing about, seeing, you know, how I can modify my diet. And of course, the numbers there are also just kind of random. I mean, not random. They're not random at all, but they're who knows if that's what's actually in the food, and who knows if that's actually in the food you're eating right now. Soil quality, growing conditions, growing techniques, all these things affect the nutrient quality of your food. And generally speaking, I'm skeptical to a lot of the nutrient composition of the foods and fruits we're getting here in Norway. I'm skeptical, to say the least. So I'm thinking, yeah, I mean, bananas should have this much iron, but maybe they have way less. Maybe the bananas here in Norway just have way less iron. And I'm thinking I'm getting enough, but I'm actually getting not enough at all. Whereas when I remember in Cairns eating papayas that almost tasted like iron. It was just like, whoa, these are just dense in nutrition, nutrient dense stuff. Thailand, Costa Rica, Cairns, La Palma even. Good quality food that tastes amazing, delivers nutrition that you need. And if you couple that with eating termites and eating leaves and being out in nature all day, getting bacteria into your mouth basically all the time, you can see that's quite a different animal. That's quite a different nutritional situation than what I'm in right now, or what you are in probably as well. So I'm in favor at the moment of trying to micromanage my diet, which I've spoken against in the past. Hey, don't micromanage your diet, just eat whole food, natural food, fresh fruit, etc. But the way I see it now is that, you know, I could sit down and eat just like blueberries or tomatoes, which are fruits, apples, fruits, but it's nothing like what we've been eating for millions of years in the tropics. An apple is pretty far nutritionally and in terms of taste and satisfaction and calories, totally different thing from jackfruit. Jackfruit, that's what we've been eating for millions of years, you know what I mean? Like, we've been eating sweet, tropical, dense fruits, and that's what we thrive on. So because I don't want to have bananas again for dinner for the third meal, and I want to have a little bit of variety in my life, I eat sweet potatoes. Of course, over the course of a year, I have different sweet potatoes from different countries, from different soils, different varieties of potatoes and sweet potatoes and a few other vegetables. So I do get a little bit of variety that way, and I do eat other fruits too. As I said, in the autumn when it's apple season, I might eat a lot of apples. And if I find some good lychees, or if I find some good mangoes in the summer, or strawberries, I'll have a meal or two of those for sure. So I do eat a variety of fruits and vegetables over the course of a year, but typically my staples are bananas, sweet potatoes, and potatoes. That's what counts for most of my calorie intake. And so that's it. That's my diet right now. That's my philosophy right now. That's what I'm experimenting and playing around with right now. I'd love to hear your ideas about it in the comments. I don't think any haters would make it this far anyway, so any hateful comments in the comment section are probably just from people who didn't even watch the video. Please share your input, your ideas. You know that saying, innocent until proven guilty? Well, I kind of look at it a little bit like that, you know? If I suddenly get overwhelming evidence and I get convicted that, hey, we need more protein, I'm like, shit, we need more protein. But then at the same time, as I realize we need more protein than what a fruit-only diet can give us, and certainly what a banana-only diet can give us. As I mentioned, bananas are just like 3% of calories from protein, whereas mangoes are 6%, something like that. So that's a pretty big difference. So if you're just eating bananas, already you're getting less calories from protein than you would if you were eating mangoes. It's just, that's worth bearing in mind. But as soon as I get that realization, of course, it goes against some of my ideology, my current ideology, and I'm like, shit, that doesn't make sense. I've made videos in the past, I've said we don't need more protein, we just need a little bit, and now suddenly I'm feeling this different. You know, that's kind of difficult sometimes to find new information and to merge it with your current belief system. And so what happens is that I get this overwhelming evidence that we need more protein. I get inspired about eating more protein. I can't say for sure that it's true though, but it seems to be so currently for me. And what I do then is that I'll adopt it. I'll adopt the new paradigm. So immediately I'll just adopt that new paradigm, just like I did when I found the raw food diet. I was just like, shit, this is obvious, this is awesome, I need to eat raw food. I adopted the new paradigm, and then I started looking for reasons why it might be wrong, right? So my first 2 years of the raw food journey, I constantly kept asking myself, is there anything wrong with this? Am I missing out on anything? And constantly I was like, no, it makes sense, it makes sense. And I was looking at information, etc. Same thing here. I'm eating more protein now, and I've adopted it, and now I'm looking for reasons why I maybe shouldn't eat so much protein. And then maybe I'll scale it down again, maybe up again. It's a journey. It's something like a journey. You constantly learn, you constantly evolve, you constantly experiment, and you listen to your body and feel how it affects you. Of course, I'm feeling good, I'm performing well running wise, I'm happy, I'm satisfied with my life, I enjoy my food, I love my bananas, I love my smoothies, I love my dinners. Of course, I would probably enjoy an all fruit diet in Cairns or Thailand, eating lots of durian and mangoes, Namdok Mai mangoes. Probably enjoy that a little bit more, probably be more of an intense experience, and I would get more variety. But that doesn't mean I'm not enjoying my current diet. I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm looking forward to every meal. It's not boring at all, even though it's the same every single day, pretty much. Thanks for watching. I hope that makes sense to you. I hope that cleared up a little bit of confusion probably. A lot of people are wondering what I'm doing these days, why am I eating differently and sort of thing. And I'll get into that in future videos as well, picking on more specific details as we get along. But anyway, I better get going. I have a guitar students in like 15 minutes. I better get ready. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you around.